Hello and welcome to Guitar Whisperer headquarters, where we have another 80s Fender on the bench, which belongs to the same chap as the Strat, which was on here recently. This one is not quite as old. It's from 1987 though, so still pretty old. Made in Japan, 1962 Strat reissue. It's rather lovely. I wish this was mine, this one. It's got things I like. It's got rosewood fingerboard, double bound body, sunburst finish, 3-ply scratch plate, and it's very well made, as you would expect from a Japanese guitar of that vintage, made in the Fujigen factory, which was a fine factory. Has a few issues. Noticeably, it doesn't make any noise. Nothing going on here, and crackling going on here, and yeah. So you get the idea. There's no noise, and it's rather dirty, and it needs new strings and a proper setup. It's been in storage in the garage, so we'll have to see what's going on under the control plate, and if we can salvage the existing electronics. I'd replace them. Let's have a look in a bit. And yeah, cleaning, setup. This one is going to be used as a slide guitar, so slightly heavier strings and slightly higher action than the Strats. But yeah, we'll have a play around with that later. Let's get it making a noise first. First step is to get these frankly disgusting strings off. Really bad. And get these out of the way. We're going for a deep clean again on this one. And let's get these out of the way. There's a serial number on the bridge plate here, which I initially was going to use to date it, just for my own curiosity. And the serial number starts with an A, which according to charts of stuff like this on the internet, A means 1983, 84, something like that. And then I read a bit further, and it said that all the Japanese Fenders from this era start with an A, so that's not very useful. So I popped the neck off for a look, and to get access to the truss rod, and it says 1987 on the end of the neck, written in pencil, which is a more reliable way of doing it. We've got a rather thick layer of dirt there. This should clean up fine. It is going to clean up fine. These finishes are tough as old boots. My magic cleaning solution will, add a bunch of elbow grease, I'll get it all off. We'll clean some of this chrome up a little bit as well, make it look nice. Let's see what we can see in here. Well, that's slightly surprising. Excuse me. There are little mini pots in here. We'll try flushing them out quickly. See if that makes any difference. We'll check continuity and stuff as well. There's all sorts of dust and stuff in here which isn't helping. So first step I think is flush everything out, clean everything up, and then see if it makes noise. And if it doesn't, well, think of something else. Deox it. Lots of people debate whether you should just immediately replace pots because they are either mini pots or made in Asia or something, as opposed to CTS, which are made in America and bigger, and therefore they must be better. But at the end of the day, if a pot's doing what a pot's supposed to be doing, it doesn't affect the tone at all. There is some argument that says if you're going to be swapping parts in and out and repeatedly desoldering and resoldering wires to the back of the pots, then big pots are better because they handle the heat and the soldering process better. But I mean, it's nothing to do with the tone. Tone is not in the pots. Tone is in, well, the pickups mostly. But giving it a bit more deoxit than I normally would, considering it's nearly 40 years old. And let's see if that makes a difference. Yes! Well, that's an improvement. We've got the volume control working, mostly, and it makes a noise. The tone control doesn't work. But we're heading in the right direction. A bit more squirting and soaking, and then possibly leaving for a bit. May well sort this out. I think I'm running out of deoxit, which is a bit disastrous. So I would never use as much of this stuff normally. You don't need it. But these are grungier than normal. Lots of wiggling. And the tone control's working now. So it's definitely starting to work. I think I'll leave this for a bit now. One more squirt in each one. And then clean up my mess. And we'll leave that to soak in for a bit. So we've gone from no noise apart from horrible hum and scratchiness to some noise. Well, both controls working actually, and less hum. So there we go. That's an improvement in my book, but obviously it still needs to be better. I'm going to leave that alone for a bit now and move on to cleaning the rest of it. And see if the deoxit needs a bit of time to do its magic deoxing. I'll go back to it later. Magic cleaning spray. Very mild magic cleaning spray. There's nothing strong going on this stuff. Again, this will take a few passes, I think. Oh, it's coming off rather nicely. Always nice to see a guitar emerging from under a layer of dirt and bringing them back to their former glory. And I say this every time. Relicking dudes, take note please. This is what old guitars look like. I know it's not a 60s one, but it's still 48 years old or something. And there, you can see what it looks like. No signs of it being attacked with a angle grinder or orbital sander or whatever people do when they relic. I'm just getting the worst off this time, and then we'll go over it again a few more times after that, getting it progressively cleaner each time. Controls are cleaning up nicely after a little soak. Body's nice and clean now. There was a couple of frets that were a tiny bit high, and I've managed to reseat them a bit using the 2-hammer method, and yeah, that's better. I'll do another pass with the cleaning in a bit. These machines could possibly do with a bit of a polish. And then I think I'll give it one more flush with the deoxit in there. Let it sit while I go and grab some lunch, and then come back, wiggle the controls some more. The deoxit on its own is fantastic. It's also the wiggling that helps to clean these out and restore them. Much wiggling. So yes, let's do that. Quick squirt, lunch, come back, finish it off. New strings are on. 10s, D'Addario 10 to 46. And that is about it, I think. The electronics are now working pretty well. A very faint crackle every now and then, but that will probably just disappear as time goes on. As it's been used to play slide on, I've left the action as it is, so it's set with slightly more neck relief and a slightly higher action than I would normally set stuff up like, but it's not like massively high. I think the height at the 12th is about 90 thou or something, so that does sound a lot higher than I would normally do it, and it is, but it works for slide, and it also means you can still fret chords. So yeah, this one is done for now. It's looking a hell of a lot better than it did when it came in. It was crusty, and now it's shiny, which is what we want. So yeah, thanks for watching me get this one going again, and I'll see you soon.